Because it's kind of related to engineering, but it's not directly,
Academic engineering experience is engineering experience.
Because you're only teaching one course, right? But engineering is such...
You're only teaching one course for 8 years?
Probably 2 or 3, but still a small portion.
Were you doing research? Were you assisting people with their projects, theses?
Yes.
So that's a variety of work.
Okay.
Okay.
It's teaching assistant.
Don't you think it would be greedy if you claim 8 years?
Right?
But teaching experience is considered engineering experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question. For example, let's say my title is a chemist.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm doing this like chemist job, like the synthesis, and at the same time, I'm responsible for the troubleshooting of the process. So can I include?
Well, they may look at the title and think, that's a little bit interesting. But what they're really looking at is the components of that experience, right? Because everyone's job titles will be different, and in fact, some of your job titles are not translatable. They don't really translate to the same thing as they would be called here, right? But you may still be doing the same work and a significant level of engineering work in that job. So it really depends. If you were a chemist, by job title, it depends where you're actually doing engineering work. In some countries, chemical engineers are more like chemists in Canada. It may be the opposite for you, I don't know. It really depends on your work experience. Okay.
Is the graduate study job experience?
Graduate studies? That depends as well. A certain part of it, a certain amount of it may be. Yeah, and we'll talk about that next actually. For section 3A on the application form. Section 3A, they're asking you to say whether or not you would like them to consider your postgraduate academic studies as experience. So you'll just select yes or no, and let's read about what it says here. So if you're saying yes, you would like them to count some of your academic experience in your postgraduate studies. You'll have to attach the title page, abstract page, recommendation and conclusion portion of your thesis or project report, a letter of recommendation from your thesis supervisor, which includes a statement about the engineering, in your case engineering experience and value of the thesis or project report. Project research rather. And the last I checked, you'll have to maybe double check this, but the last I checked, they'll count 50% of your work, of your experience during that time up to a maximum of 2 years. So if you've spent 2 years in a master's degree, they'll count 1 year of that time period. If you've spent 4 or 5 years in a PhD, they may count 2 of those years as work experience. Okay. It must be after you finish your bachelor's degree though. So if you've done work experience components during your bachelor's degree, but you weren't a graduate yet, they won't count that.
Sorry, I repeat that.
If like a lot of people do work experience components during their undergraduate degree, right? They may work in a company as an intern, or they may even write a thesis. In a lot of countries, undergrads write theses. If you haven't graduated, that won't count. So APEGGA will only look at masters or PhDs, postgraduate from an undergraduate degree work experience. Okay. So yeah, maybe. Yeah. Page 3 of the registration form. References, number 4. One of the 5 criteria is your references, your character and reputation. APEGGA will talk to your references.
Can I interrupt? Regarding the experience, is Canadian 1 year experience essential, or experience in our home country or some other country for 4 years is good enough?
It has to be equivalent to experience. Usually that means Canadian experience.
Okay.
But if you can prove that your work experience was at the same level, codes, under the same codes and standards, business practice and so on, climate in some cases, then maybe they'll consider that. Yeah. But that differs, you know. A civil engineer working in transportation from Alaska understands roads that will be built in Canada, right? But a civil transportation engineer that designs roads for southern Florida has no idea about Canadian climate or geology or project management, construction, and so on. So it really depends on where and what type of experience it was. Yeah. Okay. References, yeah, number 4. They only provide a space for one reference because a lot of applications to APEGGA are EITs, and so they only need one reference. In most of you, in your cases, you'll need more than three or more references. You need at least 3 references as a PEng applicant. So you can make your own table on a separate document and just attach it. You can say, like, please see attached reference table on the attached page. So you'll need to give them at least 3.
Question. They will also be in the other, in the spreadsheet, right? Like on page 26. So basically, you'll be.
There's some redundancy in this application process, yeah. But removed out, give it to them twice if they want it.
Another question: is it a must that the references have to be professional engineers?
They don't have to have the designation professional engineer because most of your references, if you have a lot of work experience outside of Canada, won't be PEngs. That's fine. They should be engineers. They should be able to talk about your technical experience. Yeah. But if they have a designation of CEng or PE or no designation, that's okay. Your Canadian experience will be referenced by a PEng and must be referenced by a PEng, but we'll talk about that. So character. Don't read these questions, just answer no to all of them. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Please read these questions and answer them honestly. All right, sorry?
Excellent. Just one question about the part 4 references.
Yeah.
I see that it's writing here and not required for University of Alberta grads. Is it mean the persons who graduated or persons who are already studying at University of Alberta?
You must be a graduate.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're saying for members and training applicants only. If you're a PEng applicant, you still need to supply your references.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So let's look at those questions. I want you to answer honestly. Have you ever been found guilty of, or is there an outstanding judgment against you for unprofessional or unskilled practice by regulatory organization or agency? No. An offense under the EGGP Act? No. Or equivalent legislation. Any criminal offense? No. Right? Negligence due to unskilled practice of the professions and any civil actions made against you? No. Right. Knowledge of professional laws and ethics. So as one of those 5 criteria is the professional practice exam or the National Professional Practice Exam. The National Professional Practice Exam is basically, in the majority of it, is a law and ethics exam. So you'll be saying, I have or I will pass the National Professional Practice Exam. Most of you, I say, I will, right?
I will, so.
Yeah.
So you have to write an exam, in any
Everybody does. Canadians, non-Canadians.
So we cut and write will instead of.
I will.
Okay, I will is there. Yeah.
I will.
But this is not required for EITs, right?
No, it's not a requirement, but it will be. As
Okay,
you know, you will.
even we have to.
Yeah,
like,
you would also check that.
Yeah.
Fundamentals of Engineering exam, or the FE, as a lot of people know it, is a more recent exam or option APEGGA has. It's been available since October, November 2007, and it's a comprehensive 8-hour exam covering the breadth of an undergraduate degree in engineering. So it's primarily an American exam. It's offered by the National Council of Engineers and Surveyors, or an organization in the States. And many PEs in the United States take this FE exam in order to become professional engineers. And so a lot of newcomers